big show. It's a big show tonight. We have Leslie David Baker standing from the audience. And we have the music of Stevie Newman. That's right. And man, we have a great title sponsor, Branson. Check it out. Call Michael.
Could you repeat that?
Call Michael.
Calling creepy uncle.
Call Michael.
Call who?
Call. Call Michael.
Nope.
Phone Mike.
I will not call Mike.
Call Michael.
Could you please stop talking?
Call Michael.
No.
Call Michael.
No way.
Call Michael.
Stop asking.
Come.
Nope.
Come.
No.
Call Michael.
Calling Michael.
Come on. I'm pretty excited about tonight. You guys? It's gonna be good. There's Mo over there. Hey, Mo.
Hey, how's it going?
Let's do things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Things I've noticed. Let's do it. I've noticed that the more I drink, the more I need to woo-hoo. I've noticed that people should be more like dogs and get their noses rubbed in their mistakes. I've noticed that when I park too far away from the drive-thru window, my combo meal is made up of a burger, fries, drink, opening my car door, unbuckling, and avoiding eye contact with a teenager holding the sack. I've noticed that Blue Apron is just Meals on Wheels for millennials. I've noticed that one industry women have yet to break into is serial killing. Men are still dominating the game. Step it up, ladies. The power dynamic is not going to change itself. Yeah, the boos you hear, those are more appropriate. And finally, I've noticed that the difference between Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb is a father's disappointment. That's things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
All right. So I am happily married to my wife, Michelle. We connected, and she and I get sad about the fact that some people miss their connections. So what we want to do for you now is to do a dramatic reading of real missed connections from Craigslist in hopes to help you guys find each other. These are all from our viewing areas, and they're real. Let's do it.
James, you were my server today. I was there with my mom, but I was the one wearing glasses. You gave great service. I did specifically leave you my number, but I guess you're not used to that as you gave it to your manager.
You were in silver car. I think female. If female, please respond.
Craigslist missed connections.
Your initials are CS, and you came into the doctor's office yesterday, sick with the flu. You were still hella cute, though.
You wait and bust tables at a diner in Huntersville. I was with someone, but we flirted anyway. The female I was with knew I was flirting, so did you. We subtly caught one another's eyes many times. You made sure that I had my eyes on you by glancing over your shoulder at me with your back turned. You managed to get closer by cleaning the table next to ours, even though it wasn't your table.
Craigslist missed connections.
Just throwing this up to see what's cracking. If you're available, hit me up. Maybe make a little something happen near the Ozark Cemetery.
You hit me with your car. You hit me with your car on February 5th. I would like to buy you a cup of coffee and show you the me that's not yelling at you about hitting me with your car.
Craigslist missed connections.
I'm trying to locate a guy who worked the overnight shift. He had lots of tattoos and a beard with a mustache straight out of a biker gang. Obviously, he enjoyed anything that felt good. This would have been about 20 years ago.
I've missed you and wish we had a way to talk without anyone getting mad at us. I'm sorry you thought I was dead.
Craigslist missed connections.
There you go, that's Missed Connections. We'll be back with Leslie David Baker.
That comedy bit brought to you by Bush, Ramlow & Shore CPAs.
Set design and construction brought to you by Elamoose, Digital Quill Studio, and Skinny Theatrical Design and Fabrication.
Closed captioning for the Mystery Hour provided by Paragon Architecture. Big Whiskey's is the official American restaurant and bar of the Mystery Hour. Guest booking provided by Gig Salad.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. It's almost the moment. We have a great guest tonight. We also have a great guest sponsor. Pow! That's right. It's the History Museum on the Square. If you like things that aren't in the present, that's the place to be. Our guest tonight, you probably know him best as Stanley from The Office. Please put your hands together for Leslie David Baker.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
A couch that actually sits up off the ground. I like that.
That's right.
You know, a lot of the furniture is down so low, it's like climbing out of a ditch. This is good. This is nice. It's real, and it's leather, too.
It is.
Where's the rest of the cow? I'm hungry.
Hungry. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're here. You made it. I'm so glad.
I made it after a 17-hour flight on the little plane.
Yeah, it was an adventure for you.
This is not a little plane body.
This is not a little plain body is a great quote.
It's not. And then the flight attendant, there was something leaking out of the ceiling of the air conditioner vent, and she says, "Oh, this plane hasn't worked right all day." Not what you want to hear from the flight attendant when you're getting on a plane. Yeah. She's, you know, a comfort woman. Comfort. Yeah. So.
Well, by the way, we are just ecstatic that you're here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm ecstatic too. I can't see you, but I'm ecstatic that you're out there. I can hear you. I feel you breathing on me. It's good. It's good. Everybody's all fresh and wonderful, and
everybody's all fresh and wonderful.
Yes.
So I want to know. Let's see. I think you just have the most fascinating story, like the whole Stanley and all that stuff. But your story before that, because you moved to Hollywood when you were 40.
I was 40, yes.
You had a whole career before that.
I had a whole life before then. I worked at 3 psychiatric hospitals out of undergrad. I decided I wanted to go to med school, got there, stayed a semester, and decided I don't want to do this. I was in the anatomy lab one night late and was standing there, and I thought, I need a sign that I should not, whether I should keep doing this, if I should leave. And then I had the cadaver out and was with the books and everything, and then the power went out. And I went, okay, message received. So I left.
In the room with a cadaver, lights out.
In the room with a dead body. It's a horror movie waiting to happen. And so you stand there and you can't put anything up because it's dark and you don't want to trip and fall over the body. So you just stand there and wait till the lights come back on and then, put them back in the fridge and you call and announce, I'm coming home. I've had enough. So. And then I came back and started substitute teaching for the Board of Ed and started working on my master's and started doing extra work and commercials, industrials, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I went on to work for the City of Chicago Office of Cable Communications and then the health department and still doing plays and commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, one thing led to another, and then I ended up getting fired, and then I sued them, and then they had to write me some shut up and go away money, and I got my shut up and go away money, and I went. And and I went west and was in LA, I think about a month, and booked my first, gig.
A month, that's amazing.
A month, yeah.
So then what year is this about?
This was 98, before they had the GPS in the car, so we were still using this book called the Thomas Guide. So you're driving around, steering with one hand and flipping pages in this big map book with the other. It's a wonder we didn't all kill each other. And oddly enough, since the advent of GPS driving in LA, this still hasn't improved. So, just as reckless with the book or with the,
There's no way. There's just no way to make it
just driving with their
palatable.
feet out there sometimes.
Feet out there. So, and then I know that you did quite a bit of work before The Office, just a lot of different stuff.
I did the 70s show, Scrubs, Just Shooting Me, Malcolm in the Middle, got to work with Bryan Cranston, wonderful man. And did some, little movies and commercials. I've sold everything from pizza to motor oil, so, and, got a chance to do that. Oddly enough, when I first moved out to LA, I had 2 national commercials and a regional commercial
On
running.
the way out there, you already had them.
I had them already in the can. They were airing, and then, one commercial was me standing at a gas station with some other employees twirling a pizza on one hand. It was actually on an electronic stick, and, we were twirling pizzas and cold cuts, and oddly enough, after you've been spinning, lunch meat around on a platter, by that 8th hour, it's not fresh. So,
So then Stanley Hudson, that opportunity comes in front of you. Did you know right away this is a hit? Did you have a sense?
I had gotten a call to go read for Stanley Hudson, and I went to the initial audition, and they said he works in an office. So I went to the audition with, a neatly starched shirt on and the tie and the whole bit. And then the casting director, Allison Jones, said, when you go to the callback, don't go in there looking all dressed and crisp. He's working in an office. He doesn't really want to be there, so go rumpled. No problem. Pulled that shirt out of the dryer, threw it on, and I had another audition that same day. So I got to the audition, and there was a whole bunch of people there, and so I left. And I went to my other audition. I said, I've got plenty of time to get back. On the way back, ran into every senior citizen who was out driving and school bus and everything else. And I was like, oh. So by the time I got back to the audition, it was a hot, kind of sweaty LA day, and I was really looking rumpled and was kind of cranky for real. And so when I got to the audition, I sat down and I read with the wonderful Phyllis Smith, who, yes, that's my bud, Phyllis. And we sat down, and she was the casting associate. for the show. She wasn't acting at that time. So Greg Daniels, the producer of the show, said, I want you to read the script, do what's in the script, and then keep going, do some improv. We want to see what happens afterwards. So I just talked about, how I had run into traffic, and we just kept doing our improv after we did the script. And 2 weeks later, I got a call that I had gotten a part, and then Phyllis also got a role.
Yeah.
And so for 9 years, we sat across the desk from one another, and usually we were the first ones at work and the last ones to leave because the camera always caught us,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sitting at the desk. And luckily, they decided to make our computers active for real. So we got to do a lot of shopping at the desk. I found my house, I furnished part of my house, I got shoes for the Emmys because I have really wide feet, and you have to, when you go to those affairs, you have to always buy your shoes a size bigger because you have to allow for swellage because because you get very festive and your feet might swell. So yeah. And so, and you buy your little clothes and your furniture and all kinds of stuff on the computer.
Yeah, so you're, of course, you're acting, because like in real life, you're so much, I don't know how to say it exactly, but you're definitely not Stanley in real life.
I'm a little more alive than Stanley.
A little more alive.
I'm not depressed, and melancholy and, contrary as Stanley.
But you're, I would say, among one of your specialties is just like glances, right? Like it's just perturbed glances.
Well, they say that a look is worth 1,000 words, and a lot of times you react to what's going on. So instead of, having a whole bunch of dialogue, if something is happening over here, we all do it every day in real life. Somebody will do something over here, and you'll go like, And that says, she knows she's lying. That's not her real hair or her real husband. But instead of saying that out loud, you just go, And the camera would pick that up, and the audience in turn would look at that because they were thinking the same thing or saying, we're now privy to something that we normally wouldn't be privy to.
Yeah.
Because the way the set was constructed, we had all four walls, so there wasn't that that fourth wall that wasn't there. So you had the cameraman, he could do a 360 with the camera, so you felt like you were inside the room with us.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there is like, and particularly having like such a character like in Steve Carell and Rainn Wilson's characters, that like you have to have someone that communicates reality, where it's like, yes, this is bizarre. It's
bizarre, and you have to also have strong teeth in the back to keep from biting through your tongue completely to, when they're doing, when he and Rainn Wilson are doing what they're doing to try to stay in your character, because sometimes the stuff that they would do, we would all break. We would, and they'd go, we got to do it again because you just fell out on the floor laughing. So,
right.
It's like, get up, let's go, But.
And I think one of the questions probably everyone wants to know is, were you actually doing crosswords?
Sometimes. I didn't in the beginning because I was never really a crossword person, but Greg Daniels, in his brilliance, he allowed us to find our characters, and he announced one day, we're going to film in the conference room, and we're going to need you all to come in and bring anything with you, prop or whatever, that you feel your character would use in a real conference room setting. And I decided, I said, well, my character, he's there, but he really doesn't want to be there. So I looked around in the drawers, and then I found this crossword puzzle book, and I said, I wonder what if I brought this in here, and I just started doing crossword puzzles. And when I would have a line to deliver, instead of looking at the other actor to deliver the line, as you often would do, just, and deliver the line without even looking at him. And what would happen, and Greg allowed us to experiment with that, and it, worked.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Can I? That's right. And we got to go to break, but I just want to tell you, having you here is like pretzel day. We'll be right back.
Travel and accommodations provided by Hotel Vandervoort. Systematic Savings Bank, official bank of the Mystery Hour. The Mystery Hour is brought to you in part by Ozarks Technical Community College. You have a dream, we have a plan. Tonight's musical guest brought to you by Bear Village.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We have a great musical guest. Please put your hands together for Stevie Newman.
I never thought you'd leave me. Turns out I was wrong. I never saw it. I wasn't looking for it. I just turned around one day and you were gone. You left me out on my own. I never knew one heart could hurt like that. I never thought you'd come back. Turns out I was wrong. I never saw it. I wasn't looking for it. I just turned around one day, girl, and you were home. Back where you said you belonged. I never knew one heart could change like that. Don't unpack, girl, 'cause it ain't the same. Everything is different, but nothing's changed. I can't forget the day you turned and walked away. And I never will, so what's left to say? I never thought I'd get over. Turns out I was wrong. Now instead of sitting crying and feeling like I'm dying, a little at a time I'm starting to find a way. I'm getting better each day. I never knew one heart could heal like that. Just like that.
That was awesome. Good job, guys. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Stevie Newman, Leslie David Baker, 10% of our box office proceeds tonight goes to the Glendale High School cross country team in memory of Lou Miller. We'll see you guys next week.